Ilyana Kadushin, audiobook narrator of the book Stuffing Cotton.
And I am Mary Christine Strobel. I am the author of Stuffing Cotton.
And Stuffing Cotton was recently produced as an audiobook. Stuffing Cotton, which is being published by Saltwater Media and produced as an audiobook by the No I Know podcast. So how did this all come about?
Well, I wrote Stuffing Cotton, and before it was put into print, I was talking to my oldest son, who is in the book, and I was talking to him, and he said, well, you know, Mom, he said, I still read some books, but I mostly listen to audiobooks. You might want to consider having an audiobook done. And I hadn't really considered that. And so I contacted Ilyana, and she agreed to read over my manuscript and to accept the project.
And for me, this has been an unusual experience because out of over 100 audiobook titles that I've narrated, it's actually very rare to get to meet the author in person, talk to them, hear their voice, hear their story. And I've probably, out of the over 100 titles, only met 5 of the authors. And so getting to sit down here at this table and talk to you and feel like I had a sense of why you wrote this book, I think is very helpful for all narrators. And most of the time, narrators really would maybe get a phone call or an email, if that. So I think it was really cool that we actually got to meet before we did this.
Yes, I think it was really cool. So how do you, I had really no idea how you would start to even prepare, besides getting to know me a little bit, how you would even start to prepare to produce an audiobook.
Yeah, well, so part of it is once we made the decision, and I just want to say, deciding to, narrate Stuffing Cotton for me was that I, over time, have always gotten asked to narrate. I think in general, a lot of narrators might get a certain genre or certain style of book that they get associated with. And it's been interesting in the last several years that I'm always asked to narrate, especially women's voices in books where they are showing incredible strength and perseverance and overcoming something. And it's been interesting for me to look at that, of going, I wonder what in me, in my voice, speaks to those kinds of stories. So for me, when I read Stuffing Cotton, seeing the incredible things that Christine had to face as a person, as a human, and as a mother, I decided that is in line with the kind of stories that I tell, in addition to the idea of people getting to know about this disease that you will learn about, that is part of this book and part of her son's journey that she really wanted to know. So once that decision is made, there's the prep of the book is reading it a few times, one time to just really read it and see how it lands, another time to really do the actual preparation, to say, who are these people? What does this particular language and story need from me? But interestingly, because I got to meet Christine beforehand and talk to you and ask you about who you are and how you responded to these things that were happening to you, that was the best preparation I could have had than just reading the script and coming up with things randomly in my mind. I was like, oh, well, I have the author's energy and her feeling about what she went through. So once you do those kind of preparations, then you get into the technical land, and then it's about recording and working with my husband, who's James Harrell, who's the engineer producer. And then we start recording the book. And as we recorded Stuffing Cotton, now I've recorded a lot of really amazing and intense and powerful stories, but James and I have recorded a handful of those things together. I've worked in other recording studios in different parts of the country. But when James and I worked together, this book really impacted us. And we said to Christine that along the way, we were very, moved. And, it was like we went through it with you. as we told the story. And then once you're done recording, you're in the technical phase of editing and putting the book, getting the finishing touches, and getting it ready for the audiences to listen to.
Yes, well, I am so honored that you took the project on, that you and James did that. So I'm just really looking forward to, and there's a lot of, I've gotten feedback from some people that found that I was doing the audiobook, and they said, well, I have a relative who can't really read because they can't see so well, but they're so excited to be able to listen to Stuffing Cotton through audio. So
Absolutely. And as I said to you, I feel like when you write a book, it's like a tree, and then it has these branches. Yeah. And so the audiobook is just a branch, and it's just an extension, another way for your story to get out there. And I feel happy and proud to have been the one to tell it, and that I hope it allows more people to hear it, because now people can read it and listen to it. And yeah. Well, this is our little behind the scenes of Stuffing Cotton audiobook. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and go out and buy the book and the audiobook.